Hey, everybody, this is James from the Kickout Crew. Welcome to episode 2. Hope you enjoyed the first one. Really appreciative of the positive feedback and everything. Once again, if you have questions or comments, we are at Kickout Crew on Twitter, so you can follow us there and interact and, hey, maybe even have a couple of surprises for you. That being said, once we kick it out to, see how everybody's week is, I didn't do shit, but just work and all that stuff. So, Brad, catch us up on your life, man. How was your week?
Well, I am in car sales, which is everybody's favorite type of employee. And we had a big week. We're starting to get some new cars back in inventory. Did great. So, so far, so good. The week's ending. Looking forward to another big week. And just glad to be here with you fellas.
Right. Can't wait for you to, swindle more people out of money. Really hope that goes well for you.
I'm selling happiness. All I do is sell happiness and dreams.
Oh,
that's right.
See, hey, that's why they go to you, man. Right on. Well, up next, we got Adam from Bama. Adam, tell us what's been happening.
Oh, man, great week. Thanks, everybody, for all the feedback. We always enjoy anything positive. All I really do is work, take care of my kids, man. Just the metal fabrication business. It's an up and down type deal, but hey, it makes money. It makes happiness, and I'm halfway there.
I hear you. That's good to know. Good to catch up with you, my man Mike. What's been happening in your world, man?
What's going on, guys? Same old. Everything, same as it always is. Work, come home, watch wrestling, drink beer.
I heard that. Can't wait for football season. I know that for sure.
Can't wait.
Up next, Devyn. How are things in New York? How's it up north?
Not too bad. This week's actually been pretty nice. It's been nice weather up here. Surprisingly, that's about it. Working every single day and coming home, making dinners, and pledging away, watching wrestling. And I want to say, much like Adam said, I want to thank all you guys for your feedback last week on our episode. That was a lot of fun to record, and it should be another fun week for you guys here.
Hell yeah, that's what I like to hear. Good shit. Up next, the main event, Coach Rosey packing out the stadiums. How your week been?
Oh man, I have had a very interesting week. I just accepted a coaching job at a new school by the name of Sunny Slope. So last year I was coaching at Desert Vista, and for one reason or another, they didn't renew our contracts. We made the playoffs. We had a good year, but that doesn't need to be explained here. So I'm moving on to Sunny Slope High School. And when we found out, my wife said, "What do you want for dinner?" I said, "I know just the thing. Mike's Meat Man." It hit my mind. I said, "I need you to get 3 pounds of London broil, get Dale's seasoning. Let's let that seep overnight, and then bust out the smoker, get the good pellets this time, and let's do it right." We've been eating it for 3 days straight. So it's been a great week in my family's house.
There you go. Glad you enjoyed, my friend.
Oh yeah, that's what's up. Mike's Meat Minute. You can catch that. Only exclusively here at the Kickout Crew. Nowhere else. Shout out to Mike. But I guess today's matches that we're going to cover today. Well, starting off is going to be Triple H versus Stone Cold. Triple H just had to retire. Stone Cold was just at WrestleMania. Both of those, cross paths at this year's WrestleMania. Those were two big things that happened, this past Mania season, I guess you could say. Triple H, long story career. Obviously, our beer drinking boy, Stone Cold came back, whipped some ass 2 nights, and Triple H, had to call it an early career. We obviously know he has a bunch more in the tank. It's kind of sad to see, honestly. So we're going to be covering, Triple H, Stone Cold from No Way Out. And it was February 25th, 2001 at the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. The attendance, 15,223, which I kind of find crazy. You figured they would do a bigger arena, but, that's just me. Maybe that's how Vegas is set up. I'm not sure. The match length was 39 minutes and 27 seconds. It is a gauntlet of a match, to say the least. And, for all the fuck boys out there, Meltzer gave it 4 3/4 stars for people who care about that shit.
Yep. Nobody cares about Meltzer.
Right.
But the backstory for this one actually was a good one because it took a year to take on to come up to this. This match was the year making, starting at SummerSlam 99, when Triple H attacked Stone Cold with a chair after losing a triple threat match that included and was won by Mankind. Austin got his rematch a few months later at No Mercy, but lost when The Rock hit Austin with a sledgehammer that was meant for Triple H. Austin was booked to be in a triple threat match with Triple H and The Rock, but Austin, because he was bald, got hit by a car, took him out. It was first revealed as Rikishi that hit Austin. You know, that whole "I did it for The Rock."
Yeah, you gotta say it. You know,
I did it for the people.
I did it for The Rock. But soon was revealed that it was Triple H the whole time. Austin then, what a rattlesnake does, open a can of whoop ass on Triple H. Austin drove a fork truck into Triple H's car, elevated him up, got him nice and high, and dropped his ass right on the damn roof of that car. Y'all remember that happened?
Yep.
That was the good times back then.
Well, and it was a face Stone Cold.
Yeah. Austin then went after the WWF title from Kurt Angle, who had at the time, but Triple H interfered. That cost him the match. Austin that year would go on to win the Royal Rumble 2001 and earn a title shot at WrestleMania. Before he got the biggest show of the year, he still had to deal with Triple H. And as things got heated between the two, they had to sign a contract with saying they could not interact with each other, no physical, nothing like that. Austin signed the contract. Triple H acted like he signed the contract, then attacked Austin. Well, Austin retaliated how Austin could. He couldn't hit Triple H, so what did he do? He stunned Stephanie. And here we go.
Equal rights.
There we go. And that's where the match starts. That's where we go on.
I do like the stipulation that they can't contact each other. I think that just builds the steam because nowadays, hell, everybody that's fighting each other, they brawl, in specific like weeks leading up to it. Somebody like gets the upper hand, and then the next week the other person like does their finisher, goes back and forth. But I like the buildup of they can't touch each other. To me, that's
they can't touch each other.
And that bastard motherfucker Triple H, did the pedigree on Stone Cold, and it was like, because McMahon's like, "You're suspended," and he's like, "Nope, I didn't sign it," and then like rips that thing off, and then
rips it up, and then signs it. And the stipulation was if they did, Austin would lose his WrestleMania match, and if Triple H did it, he was suspended for 6 months.
Yep.
So we can go ahead and talk about the match. The match, it was a 3 stages of hell match, is what that was.
Oh,
and hold on. Before you get into this, I want to point out, just for everybody at home, this is kind of the culmination to the I did it for The Rock, but The Rock is not involved. So yes, this is the culmination of that storyline, but somehow The Rock is nowhere involved in any of this at all. Just want to point that out for the people keeping track. And attempted vehicular manslaughter, but hey, we'll let that slide.
Yeah, we just set that aside. What did they say? He was bald headed. They didn't care.
That's true. Hey, you can shout out Brad. Don't walk close.
Shout out to Brad.
Because
don't go to Cy Sperling.
I'm also a client.
Because you may be able to get hit by a car and it's not attempted vehicular manslaughter. So be sure to watch yourself. Head on a swivel.
Yep. So what y'all think about this match though?
What do y'all think about Brad Stanton posting a picture with his hair? That'd be good.
Tell
us if you want that.
Before we start with the match, this is the pay-per-view before Austin turns heel, correct?
It is one.
And it is also right before the WWE bought WCW. That all happened next month, correct?
Yeah, this is the last pay-per-view of the Monday Night Wars era.
Yeah, that is something to think about. I just wanted to ask before this gets started, real quick. Austin said he wanted to turn heel because he was losing steam. This is a 40-minute match. A 40-minute match. There is no way that the WWE felt that Austin was losing steam, putting him in a 40-minute match. So, do you guys agree with that? Because this is a
crowd went ape shoot because I even have here, Triple H has an okay entrance. Crowd goes ape shit once the glass hits. Like, I mean, I don't know why. I don't get it. If you're running out of steam, it wasn't on us. You know, it wasn't on us.
Yeah.
He probably just wanted to be a heel again. It's more fun and it's easier.
Yeah.
And plus, he can get his T-shirt money. They're going to buy it either way.
That's definitely true. They're going to buy it either way because they bought it when he's a heel to begin with.
Yep. And I have a little thing about at the end of the match, you know, when he turns heel and everything, the aftermath of the match. So
It's assholeian. You know.
And Michael Cole with highlights, also something I wanted to point out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I know one thing about this match, watching it back, JR and Jerry the King Lawler on commentary. Those two are peanut butter and jelly.
Yep.
I mean, they just go together no matter what it is, they can just go. And I watched this match 3 times just because of JR and Jerry King. I did.
Well,
I did a lot of time to watch it 3 times.
For all
Yep,
of you
I
at
watched
home,
3 times. I just
120 minutes.
Yep, I did.
That's true.
Just because of JR and King.
Yeah.
I mean, missing them two.
But even the botch moves, they did cover them up real nicely because in that
They did.
there were a couple of
both
like botches, and they just like covered like smoothly transition.
When King yelled at JR for putting the sledgehammer under the announcement table.
Yes. I love that. He called him a son of a bitch. I have that in my notes too, you know, where he called him a son of a bitch.
Oh, I thought the first fall.
That's what he called him a dumbass. He's like, you dumbass. I didn't put that under there.
If we were going to break this down like in match by match, since there's kind of 3 matches in it, I thought the first match was honestly awesome. It was a really good technical match.
Yeah, it was better. It was the better one of the 3, honestly, in my opinion.
It was Stone Cold-ish if you think about the following 2. You know, this was definitely the Stone Colder of the 2 that follow.
Right. It was more of the old school wrestling. You know, getting the ring, beating the shit out of each other. You know, they didn't. You know, they weren't up on the top rope, jumping and doing flip flops and everything else. They just beat the shit out of each other in the ring.
Austin reversed a cradle into a cradle of his own. And honestly, I thought that was about to be the finish. They would have had me sold right there. But then about 15 seconds later, he popped up and hit a stunner. And that was the end of the first round.
And as you look at the match links of all these like 3 falls, like this first one's 12 minutes, 20 seconds, you know?
Right.
It's pretty quick compared to the rest of the match. So
I feel about that transition though, from a regular match to a basically a no holds barred match. I mean, here you are hitting moves that are able to pin someone with regular moves. Now you're going to be hitting someone with chairs, and they're not going to be pinned.
Yeah.
Do you think that's like? Listen, I'm all about, I'm okay with that if that's what it was alone. But for me, it was a tough transition from a regular match where moves can beat you to where a chair can't.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. You know, how are you gonna, lose to like some bullshit, but then get smoked with a chair like 7 times? Which when we go into that, I definitely took some statistics on chairs. But yeah, how are you gonna lose regularly, but then kick out a chair shit? That's a good point.
Oh yeah, Stone Cold.
You're a mark.
And then with it being 3 matches all in one, whoever has the most wins. And like we already said, Austin won the first match. That means we know Triple H is going to win the second one. Right. I mean, it's just there. But that kind of right there kind of gets me with these kind of matches, 2 out of 3 falls.
Well, did you notice that it was a bunch of, if you think about this first match, it was like throw Triple H to the ropes, jump up, do the thus press, beat him up, and then do some shit. Throw him into the other ropes. Jump up, bam, it was kind of repetitive in that sense to me.
Yeah, it was. It was kind of repeat.
Like they're just rotating which side of the ring they do the set.
Right. Just do the same match 3 times over in one match.
Yeah, I agree with that, Mike. You don't have to watch it till the last match because it's going to go 2 out of 3. But this might be a controversial take, but I don't like Triple H. I never have. I liked his ring music and his entrance. That was cool. But I didn't like his character. I mean, if you gave a list of the 10 greatest, 10 greatest WWE people, he would be in everybody's list. But he'd be my number 10. He might not even make it, but I never liked Triple H.
He was on the
So
Why is
I was
that?
rooting for Stone Cold.
list for me.
Yeah. Why is it that
I don't
Triple H
know.
ain't on there with you, Coach?
like
His character. I just didn't like him as a person. If I don't like you as a person, I mean wrestling character, I'm not gonna like you. You know.
Right.
So I don't care if you give me 5-star matches or not. For me, it's about the promos and then getting into the ring. I didn't like the whole Triple H promo. He's always angry. He didn't really have a lot of diversity in his promo style.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and
I do
you know,
like his selling, though. I do like his selling in a match. I think that he definitely knows how to sell an injury. I think he knows how to sell a move. I think he knows how to sell exhaustion. These are different things that he does right to make someone else at least look good. I get what you're saying, Coach. Maybe there's times when CM Punk's in the ring for 45 minutes. I know everybody jerks off to that, but my gosh, after a while, I'm like, I'm going to the bathroom or something. But Triple H is the same way in that way to me. But when it comes to the in-ring work, I think he does make his opponent look good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
think he gets
I agree.
bad rap for his promo shit. Like when he comes out and spits 25-minute promos, nobody's down with that. But I think that's what he gets a bad rap for is the promo stuff because his wrestling is, like you said, like it's way good. But for me, I'm always hating Triple H because I just imagine him and Stephanie there and I'm changing the channel, like just oh, cool. I've been third wheel a lot, so I've seen a lot of, relationship stuff. Like, this is going to go one of either they're going to be the most in love or they're going to fucking hate each other. Like, but I don't want to watch it. I'm a wrestling, that's just me. I get the reason to do the power couple, like we own the company type of bullshit, the authority thing. I get that. The other thing on the other channel is, okay, cool. Let's see you. That being said, let's transition back to, So Austin gets the stunner and wins fall number 1. 12 minutes, 20 seconds in. Kind of sort of really quick, though, on that stunner and all that stuff, But, But then that's, I thought it was interesting. This is the shortest, match of the 3.
Yeah. But I mean, this is a wrestling match. I figured this might be one of the longer ones.
Yeah, it started out this way, and then the other 2 would be kind of like
right, because you're getting tired, as you go on. But I mean, you're out there wrestling for 40 plus minutes,
Yeah. But this is the one that people like the least out of the 3.
Yeah, I agree.
In this generation, people weren't looking for wrestling matches. They wanted the top hardcore
moves. I think that's what made it kind of like it's the same move set. Like they just did the same move set over and over and over. And then Austin got the stunner.
Right.
I thought it was, Austin, but maybe they were saving it because, we started.
They were going 40 minutes.
With fucking, Austin throws Triple H out, suplexes him twice on the steel. That's how they start the second one. Like he gets a suplex twice on the ramp, I guess.
And then that straight
Austin
on the tailbone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it had a little dip in it,
Oh,
and,
yeah.
He was eating those. Like,
what do you
And
guys-
I also noticed I got on my notes where when Austin's grabbing chairs and throwing them in the ring, he grabbed the damn chair from the timekeeper, ripped it right from underneath his ass. He was still sitting down and he just grabbed that damn bitch.
Oh boy.
He didn't even use it.
Hey,
he grabbed it.
I have the stats on this too. Austin does 11 chair shots when they get in the ring. 2 on the back. Triple H hits the ground. Then he does 9 on his legs. Triple H even rolls over at one point because he's probably like, man, you've been blasting this side of my body. Can't take it. Yeah, 11 straight chair shots.
Mm-hmm.
Adam, I wanted to ask you specifically because I'm not a fan of anything outside of the ring. I actually can't wait for them to get back in the ring. As an in-ring performer, what were you like outside the ring? How did you like it?
Oh, being suplexed outside is so rough because a lot of it I think is unneeded, especially with the name of Triple H and Stone Cold. I don't think that they have to go out there and do that kind of stuff. I mean, because I understand the Hardys and all them when they do it, they want to get known. They want to get their name up there. But when you're at the status of Triple H and Stone Cold, I think it's unneeded, especially on the ramp, on that metal part of the ramp. I don't understand it.
Right.
I've been hit by a chair. It sucks. The back sucks, but in the knees, I can't imagine getting hit in the knees with a damn chair. I mean, that's how you get your knee torn. That's how you get injured, really. Especially with Triple H. Every time he walks, he gets hurt.
Even for like a street fight like this, you don't think they should go outside?
No, I don't. I mean, going outside and doing stuff is one thing, but taking them kind of bumps, because them two guys, they don't need to do that. They're known, they're established. Leave it to the guys that are just starting out. I don't think they need to do it. But as far as like the indie guys, I can see why they do it, because they want to get known. That's how they get their name up, up the ladder. Case in point, Hardy's, Edge Christian, all them guys, the Dudleys, everything they did with the TLC matches. I mean, I'm a big fan of them, and I hate being outside wrestling.
Fuego del Sol.
Oh, I'm a big fan of Fuego. I mean, I love his enthusiasm. I love his excitement. I mean, and plus he's a smaller guy like I am. So I'm a big fan of Fuego.
Alabama's only luchador.
And Devyn, I wanted to see what you thought too, because you've never lived in a world where there wasn't chairs and ladders and tables. I did. Okay. I remember someone coming off the top ropes was a finisher.
Yeah, the hammer fist, like bam.
Yeah, the double axe handle, baby.
Does something like this do anything for you?
So yeah, I love this style of wrestling. I was born and raised in the Attitude Era. A true story. When I was 6 years old, my mom took me to wrestling practice. I signed up for wrestling, going to do like pee-wee wrestling. She said we were in there for 5 minutes. I asked her when I get to hit someone with a chair.
Fun said the same thing.
Yeah.
So I literally.
That's funny. Mine did the same thing. He wanted to sign up for wrestling and everything else, and I'm like, he was talking about WWE and all this other stuff. I'm like, that's not the wrestling you can do in school, son. He's like, oh, well, what am I going to do? I said, that's completely different. So he was thinking he was going to get there and get in the ring and be doing all this other shit. I'm like, no, that's not what middle school wrestling is.
I was similar to that, where I loved the Attitude Era growing up, and then I had to kind of force myself to learn like the actual in-ring wrestling techniques and stuff. Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar helped me a lot with that.
Butter, cream cheese.
Yeah. Another thing I noted about.
I think someone needs cream cheese.
Oh yeah. When you need it, you need it, right?
You know what they're doing later, don't we?
Yeah, cream cheese it is.
That's exclusive. Only here at Kickout Crew. That's exclusive content you can only find here.
Yeah.
Get me a bagel. Get me a bagel.
Yeah. Another thing I noted for the second match, when they pulled out the barbed wire 2x4, the crowd started chanting Foley. There's a big Foley.
That was just pre-made. They just have these laying around.
Yeah, they do. I mean,
maybe they just asked me to borrow it. So come on, borrow your 2x4 you carry around with you.
Well, we got to talk about that table spot too. Like where they go to the announce tables, and Triple H fakes the pedigree, and then like Austin throws him over his back, and smashes that fucking announce table.
But he almost threw him too far to the left, if you notice.
Yeah.
He went sideways, and he almost missed that table.
Could you imagine?
Triple H had to put his hand down, kind of direct himself.
Yeah.
I noticed that in the replay.
Like it was kind of the perfect spot, but it was really close to not being the perfect spot,
Something was off. Something was off for sure. It wasn't quite right.
Yeah. But
like probably because Austin's damn bleeding like a damn stuck pig.
Allowed the table to break easy.
Yeah. And Austin, I mean, he got hit in the head with that barbed wire, so he was already damn gushing blood. I mean, he came up, he got hit, he came up and on that announce table, he was just damn gushing.
Mm-hmm.
So
then they got back in the ring. Triple H, he was about to get stunnered, and he reversed Stone Cold into the ropes and come right back with the sledgehammer.
Yeah,
I thought that was a big spot.
That one spot where he had the barbed wire on his head, and Stone Cold just laying there, grabbed the chair and whap over the back of his head,
wrapped it over.
Yep. Triple H. That was great. Good spot. Good spot.
It is funny how Stone Cold like went to the announce table, like kind of behind it, where JR and Jerry are, and then next thing you know, he comes out and he's bleeding. So like, let's hit that announce table a little too hard,
Did you guys see Stone Cold stop quick for a beer? He went over to the timekeeper's area, grabbed a beer quick.
Yeah, grabbed the beer and then he smashed it over Triple H's head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. That's only Stone Cold right
I
there.
will say that on this match, Triple H did a bunch of like neck breakers onto a chair. And me as a Stone Cold fan, even watching it back, I was like, man, like this dude just like he's the bell cow, and you're fucking, he has a bad neck, and you're just like, hey, let's do a neck breaker on the chair. Bam, like because it's not flat. The chair has, I don't know. To me, that seems like a little much. I know they're professionals and they do this shit, but like I don't think you don't pile drive Stone Cold, and I would assume you don't do anything to the neck area like, hey, let's do a neck breaker onto the fucking, chair. That's just me. I mean, if you look at Jerry Briscoe and his chair shot on Stone Cold, which is, it wasn't even a fucking, rip through wet toilet paper. Like, you don't hit the bell cow. So for them to concentrate on the neck so much on this match kind of made me a little queasy, which maybe that's good storytelling. I don't know, but slamming Stone Cold.
Yeah, I noticed that too. But,
Slamming
with his neck injury.
Business.
Yeah, with his neck injury and everything else, I agreed. But, I mean, they know how to work it. They can, if he can do it safely, let him do it safely. I mean, but.
Yeah, but it was cringeworthy. It just was. He's hurt. He's not 100%. Like, what are we doing?
Like, they didn't do it once. They did it like 15 times,
Well, and that's the thing with Triple H, too. He did it with X-Pac back in, I think it was Backlash, 1999 Backlash, when X-Pac come back with his neck injury. He did the same thing to X-Pac.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like I said, I guess if they trust each other, why not do it?
Did you notice that the steel steps were spray painted No Way Out? So I wonder if they.
Oh, I did. I seen that.
Specifically, because they were thinner. Because you remember when he hit him with the thing, it was like blah, and it like reverberated a whole bunch. So
I did notice that.
Yeah, they were spray painted with it. Fall 2 is with the pedigree after countering the stunner, which happened, I don't know, 85 fucking times this match. But hit him in the head with the sledgehammer. That was that pin. 1, 2, 3. Fall 2, the match length was 15:50. So that's 3 minutes longer than the match 1. But
Somebody
the overall
say 3
time,
minutes?
3 minutes.
But the overall time is 28 minutes 10 seconds by pin 2.
Oh, that's
now,
big.
Now the cage comes down. So we're left just like laying on the ground, and then the cage comes down around them.
Uh-oh.
So I want to ask a question real quick before that gets started. You guys, I don't have a very popular opinion about the cage. I grew up, my first real cage match I remember was King Kong Bundy versus Hulk Hogan, where Hulk Hogan escaped the cage, and I was cool with that. Everybody else says you're in a cage for a reason. I'm okay with escaping the cage. What do you guys think?
Depends on who it is and what the story is. Like, if the story needs them to escape the cage, I'm all for it. If the story needs them, like, fuck everyone, we're gonna lock y'all inside a cage, no one gets in, I'm cool with that. Like, it depends on what the story is leading into whatever.
But one of the stipulations is you can get out. They actually say that in those cage matches, unless it's like Hell in a Cell.
Well, I mean, like, if it's a covered one and
yeah. I got you.
I specifically remember in this match, they said that as Triple H and Stone Cold were starting to climb the cage, JR was like, it doesn't matter if you escape in this match, you can only win by pinfall or submission. And King was like, if you escaped, I consider you a winner in this one. So I thought that was kind of funny.
They didn't know what was going on.
Well, to answer your question, Brad, I don't like any cage matches.
Okay.
I think they're done too much.
I can't see inside them.
True.
It is visually.
Even though they bring the camera inside, it's hard. Not a big fan. Now,
I got a question.
Punjabi prison match. I love a Punjabi prison match, but a straight cage.
Yeah, because we can see inside that thing.
Yeah, it's visual.
Right.
Good shit, pal.
Do you like the new cage matches now, since they have like a big hole in the corner, like down near the bottom of the turnbuckle?
I never thought.
Kind of added that after TNA had that for a few years.
I think they mainly did that for camera angles.
Yeah, that's what I believe as well. So I don't know if that could help Coach C a little bit more, but
Impact isn't even a wrestling organization. Eric Bischoff says that.
I did think this was a very slow match, this third part. I thought it was getting very boring in there. They were excelling the exhaustion, which I guess it makes sense. It's a third match. You guys have been wrestling for 20 some minutes already. The exhausted stunner that Stone Cold throws is almost as good as the one he threw this year against Vince McMahon.
That was
But
Vince's
it
fault.
makes
That wasn't his
sense.
fault.
It makes sense though. It makes sense here. It just was. I think they were done. I think this was
Yeah.
a little. I was ready for it to be over in this.
There's a
match.
nut shot on the ropes, you know.
Oh,
all
boy.
that stuff.
Yeah.
I do like
Oh,
the way
that's-
JR's like barbed wire. He got that barbed wire. You know, love it.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, and like Brad said, them selling being so tired, were they really selling it, or were they really damn tired?
A little bit
Because
of
they
both,
beat the
probably.
shit out of each other. So I'd be tired too. Every last bit, every last hit, everything else, you can tell they were just giving it every little bit that they had just to finish that up.
There is a pedigree off a stunner false finish, and Triple H grabs his fucking knee brace and pins him up. He doesn't wrap around the leg. He just grabs a knee brace and just pulls
He
it
just
up.
grabbed what he
I thought
could.
that was funny. I was like, damn. That's hilarious.
But I think in this match we can almost go to the end. The end is, I think, a very good ending because they don't make anybody look weak. Let's face it, they both hit each other with their weapons of choice, and just happened to one fell on the other. So nobody looks weak in the moment because either one of them could have been pinned.
That's
Right.
You don't see anything like that either. Like that's a really good one.
Yeah, I like the finish of that match, like just like the way they did that and everything else. Like they both struck each other, they both went down.
And
Triple
Triple H
H
doesn't
slapped
even know he
him on
won.
top.
He doesn't even know he won. It's
Yeah,
really
like-
good.
Yeah,
They just beat the shit out of each other. They scraped barbed wire on each other's heads, like chair shots, all this galore. So to have them both like fall over like that, I think it's cool to me. Like it makes sense. It's like a real like they beat the absolute fuck out of each other, and then
they
just
did.
fall.
It's
cool.
like in
Until-
football, who has the ball last.
Yep.
It almost is like that. No one was better. It's you had the ball last.
Yeah, exactly.
Until they're both
That was-
laying there and cameras showing it on them, and some dickhead in the fan, up in the audience. Well, that's coming too. But if you notice, when they're laying there, somebody throws a beer can. It smacks Stone Cold right in the damn forehead.
Oh man, I didn't see that.
That's when he jumps. And so he jumps up. They get out,
Okay, yeah.
and all of a sudden they point back to damn Triple H, and Triple H is there sitting there gigging himself. Giddy.
For no reason. It's after the
No
match is
reason.
over. Why is he doing this when the match is
I have
over?
no idea, and they show him. They show him doing it,
Devin,
and
did you
he's
have
stuffing it back down in the trunks. Everything else, it's crazy.
What you got,
I
Devin?
was
the
just
fact
sorry,
Go ahead.
Curry. When I was rewatching the end of that finish, it just reminded me of that scene in Step Brothers when they both hit each other.
Yeah,
they
I
both
was,
knocked out
I was
conscious.
thinking
Yeah,
the same
they-
thing. I swear I was thinking the same thing. I swear, that's great.
Oh, so that's just rewatching. I wanted to point that out there.
That's
so much more room
hilarious.
for activities in this room here, this fun house.
Oh, you're bugging out?
No, I thought that was great though.
Yeah, it was a good match. I mean, it was a little long, but
Yeah.
you got 3 falls. I mean, it's
It
expected
was,
to be that long.
because the final match actually was the shortest one, 8 minutes 20 seconds. But granted, they barbed wire grinded each other's faces, and then double pin finish, whatever. But did you notice that it was a long ending after that? Like they stayed on the ground for forever. And once again, Triple H gigging himself after it's over is a really good question. I'd love to ask him one day. Like, what the fuck what's the point of that? By the time it's really gushing, you're way backstage. Like, they're already sealing your forehead. And he cut himself, which in the hair, Brad, you don't get the benefit of this. But if you're ever going to blade in the wrestling business, do it in the hair,
Yeah, mine starts back on my neck, so I don't have that luxury. You're right.
Played the
That'd be a
chin.
weird spot to blade.
Right? How'd that happen?
But then, they lay there for forever, like forever and a day. They're playing Triple H's music. Then they get up, Stone Cold stuns him, which I think that's your babyface like ending, Triple H won the match, but for some reason, hey, stand up, bam, stunner. You know, that's like the Hogan must pose type of thing, I guess.
Yeah, they leave hot. And
That's
I like this version of Austin's music. The Disturbed version.
Yeah, the Disturbed version. Yeah.
I do
I
like
like that one.
the announcers
that's
were
good.
talking about the tables being in shambles. And like JR and Jerry, like, look, we got blood, we got everything. And they're sitting down. And then it cuts to the Spanish table, which is still broke down. And the Spanish announcers are standing. So like Jerry and JR are like, look at our table. It sucks. It's in shambles. And these other two dudes are standing. Don't even have a table, you know? I thought that was funny at the end of it. Like, as the camera like pans away and you just see like, what is it, Tony Correa or whoever standing.
And it still goes back to JR and King. I mean, they just doing their work, and it brings everything into it.
Yep.
They're the best.
First match on the official card, too.
Yeah.
Stone Cold was the opener. You know?
Yep.
That warmed up the
Get
crowd.
technical about it, like how the way JR talks about it, you know, he wouldn't do well. JR, that's Grilling JR at Grilling JR on his podcast. But he talks about how, you know, Stone Cold, no matter what, wanted to be the house show main event, even if he had to travel and stuff, you know. He wanted to fucking he wanted to close it down. So for him and Triple H to do this opening match, which I know it's a 3 stages of hell, like, but for them to do this opening match, that speaks volumes.
There was a few matches before it.
Yeah.
There was like Stephanie
the
versus
house-
Trish, and
The pre-show shit, wasn't it?
I don't know.
no, it was right on the actual Peacock feed.
Well, yeah, but they showed the pre-show.
Oh, did they? Maybe that's what it is.
Because at
Fact check them.
42 minutes, all of a sudden the big fucking intro comes in for the pay-per-view. And I was like, oh, that must have been the pre-show.
Oh,
Oh, wait, I don't
Might have
know
been.
that. You may be right on that, but when I watched it, I was like, oh,
Let's
this
check our facts tonight. We'll report back next week.
you know, that's a running storyline. Yeah, you'll have to check in next week for the thrilling conclusion of, was that the pre-show?
What a teaser, huh? Who wants to see the next show?
That's when Stephanie had Triple H's old music coming out to it.
True.
That My Time Now. It's My Time Now, whatever it is. That was my favorite theme for him. Personally.
yeah, mine too.
Well, guys, I think we spent as much time on this breakdown as the match actually happened. Are we ready to move on there, James, or what?
That's true. Well, you know, I think we're ready to transition to, you know, certain topics. Who's got a good topic on hand? Who's up? Who wants it? Raise your hand.
You know what? Here's what I want to say something about.
We go to Mike. This is Mike talking. Mike, go ahead.
Go right ahead.
These damn barricades, the LEDs on the barricades. What's y'all's thought on that? First off, because I hate them. I think it's just another spotlight. It's taking you off attention of the match. Maybe another spot, you know, they put a sponsor, something like that. But they got the ring wrapped around where they can put LEDs all around the ring and everything. Now they're doing the barricade. What's the next? The ring itself?
Right.
I mean,
they did that at a WrestleMania with Bray and Randy Orton where they flashed like bugs and shit.
right. They did all that stuff.
Yeah,
You know, I think it's too much.
I think the LED barricade's cool for TV, but it completely sucks like in the scheme of things. But TV,
It'll be cool for pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be good for pay-per-view. Or maybe like even like the 4 pay-per-views, like WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. I think it'd be cool for that.
Yeah.
You know, but every single week, I think it's just too much. You know, they got, you know, when they come out now, the ramps are already done. Now they're doing the barricade. You know, it's too much Hollywood.
Well, as Bruce would say, he would say, you know, wrestling organizations really don't care about what the 2 to 3% of the so-called wrestling experts, you know, like us, we're part of the 3%. That they're marketing to that 97% who does want all those ads, and they want to get their ad sales. So it's never going to change, but I definitely hear you there.
You're right about
Yeah, I
that,
mean-
George, 100%. I mean, just the fact that we're going to watch either way. So they're not marketing to
Right.
us.
They wanna
'Cause
attract you.
and that's why Ronda Rousey and Brock Lesnar win the Royal Rumble this year. It's not for me. That's a fact.
Right.
Brock won Money in the Bank and Royal Rumble in the same fucking year. Like, I mean, you know,
Yeah.
Real here.
And still not the champion right now. So
Boom. There you go. Like that's also a very good point. Well, hey, that's good shit. I, for one, am not a. Anybody else want to chime in on this barricade, thing? I don't really like it. I think it's a TV producer. People probably love the shit out of it. Like, oh, we're putting the graphics over here. But like,
yeah, I mean that's what they're gonna have fucking Snicker bars on the damn barricades.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm not a big fan of that.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm with you, Mike. I think it's too much lights. They have the big entrance theme, and then they have it on one side of the apron, and then they have it all wrapped around the barricade. Just let's go back to wrestling. Doesn't have to be all entertainment all the time.
The walkway is going to be a big LED board next.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
They already got that thing. That right here should be where it ends, the damn walkway.
Right. I do want to point out Devyn is 24 and pointed out like, hey, we're cool with the shit. Get back to wrestling. I just want to say, the new generation feels it too. Little much.
So how many times are we going to have spears through the timekeepers area too? How many times is that barricade going to come down before they realize they need to fix it to where it don't keep coming down every time somebody leans against
table? How many times is that damn table going to get crushed?
Oh, you think they fix it by now? As many times as Roman Reigns has speared somebody through the timekeepers area, they should fix that barricade. It could fall on somebody.
You almost got taken out, Haynes, right?
Yes, actually. I know someone that got taken out, but they did.
One of our great dear friends.
Like number one, oh yeah, Megan Nelson, shout out.
Friend of the show. Friend of the
show, for sure. But yeah, she got taken out by two legends, like Sting and Matt Hardy were dueling. So, hey, she gets to keep that forever.
And you were there to help her back up on her feet and not worry about what's going on at the bottom of you.
Was very helpful. For sure. A lot of the crowd was very helpful. Like there was also a extended, match going on. Which, hey, we're not here to talk about that. Sting and Matt Hardy at my feet. We're not here to talk about that. Just want to throw that in there real quick.
That's for another episode.
Right. Hey, that's more exclusive content you can only find out at Kickout Crew. That is at Kickout Crew on Twitter.
Shameless plug.
What are we talking about? Y'all got me sideswiped on Megan getting blasted. Yeah, that's a bad way to say it. Megan.
Wow.
Well, we're off the
road. That one.
But yeah, go ahead, Rosey.
No, I was gonna say cut that part, but I will bring up this. Since we have Adam from Bama, my segment is going to be on the upcoming college football season. I'd like to know, Adam, who you think will win the SEC. I'm a Pac-12 expert because I went to Arizona State. I'll talk about the Pac-12. James, remember, I'm biased. James, you give us the Big 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Brad, I don't know what league Villanova is, and maybe do the ACC, or even if you follow. And then Devyn, I don't know.
Devyn,
you pick one.
Big Ten. I assume he likes big. I bet y'all both.
Oh yeah, Big Ten. And then Mike, you do the Georgia side. Okay, go ahead. Who's going to win the SEC? Adam and Mike.
I believe SEC is going to break down probably to Georgia, Alabama again for another year.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with that.
Yeah, because Florida's still rebuilding. Auburn, they might just kick a little dirt up in the air, but I mean, I don't think it's going to be their year this year. I think it's just going to boil down to Georgia and Alabama again.
What about Mississippi State? Maroon. I was a Delta Chi there. What about Mississippi State?
I don't think they're going to go all the way up there like that, but
ain't going to do nothing.
To me, as long as Georgia beats Florida, I'm happy.
Amen.
The biggest
I'm happy right there.
Of the year. The biggest party of the year. And I believe they is that in August or September, right?
Yeah, September.
They do it before the shig or
it's actually November. It's November.
We
were there
Yeah, it is.
We were there for Full Gear. That's the day we went to our bonus episode, Wild Bills.
Oh God, yeah. Sign up. Be exclusive. You get to hear the dirtiest story you've ever heard in your lifetime.
Patreon coming soon.
Greatest story.
Nah.
At kickoutcrew.com.
That is
get there. We'll
at
get there.
Kickout Crew on Twitter.
Well, I think that Utah will win the Pac-12. It's a very weak conference nowadays. If Arizona State, Utah Utes, yep, they're good.
You figure you start paying players again since they kind of can.
Yeah, I agree. Just
What do you think, James? Big 12.
The Big
Yeah, but they don't want to go to
Texas,
shitty
know
team.
you were leaving. OU just had Baker Mayfield's statue unveiling. I don't know if you all saw that, but it looks like shit. But Baker's got a lot of free time right now because no one gives a fuck about him in the NFL. Hell, his own team traded for a guy that, number one, can't play. Number two, probably may go to jail for a sexual assault. But hey, we hate you so much, Baker. We're going to trade for that guy and pay him $200 million. So, like, that's Baker Mayfield's life. I am a great fan of his demise. He is an arrogant, cocky piece of shit. So, karma catches you, buddy. You can't outrun karma. So
I would
I'm
take
down
him.
for his demise, but he was just in Norman. I have a bunch of Oklahoma friends like we're Snapchatting it up, like, oh my God, it's Baker. Oh, yeah, he's free now. Got a lot of time on his hands.
I'll take him on the Eagles
I bet you would.
because it really hurts.
No,
Right
another
now.
OU trash quarterback. Go
He
ahead.
said it hurts.
Well, anyway, my pick in the ACC is Clemson because why not? Since I was given ACC for some reason.
Or the Southern Atlantic, man. I live in the Atlantic, but hey, let's give it to Brad in Philly with the ACC.
There you go.
The Big East. Give me the Big
I
East.
wish the Big East was still a real thing, man. They used to be the best basketball.
Yeah, Big East, please. Let's just stick with basketball, right?
Seton Hall. They got a good football team.
Not good enough.
Northern Bucks would know. So what's happening in the Northeast? Use.
So what you got for us today, Devyn?
My team's Syracuse Orange. I'm about 2 hours away from there. I go to a few games every single year, football and basketball. They're just about, I think it was 8 years ago, got transferred into the ACC from the Big East.
Yeah.
I've been following them every year. I think this year honestly could be the year. We got like 6 stars coming back on defense. Defense is gonna look nasty. Look for Deuce Chestnut to tear it up at corner. It's gonna be a fun year.
It's gonna be a funny year for everybody.
I like him.
Yep. I know Georgia has a few surprises up their sleeve this year. So actually we got one of my hometown peoples going in there playing for him this year.
Oh, really?
Gunnar Stockton. He's a quarterback.
Oh yeah, I heard a lot about him.
Look out for him.
Texas
Right here in Raven County. That's where he's from.
transfer.
Very, very good player. Very good.
Texas got a big time transfer from Ohio State. He wasn't playing at Ohio State, but he was like, I think, the number one quarterback in the nation when he was recruited. So we got a transfer portal, like Rosey said. Everybody's a free agent. So Sarkisian was like, hey, have y'all watched Trailer Park Boys? And y'all know who Jim Leahy is? That's Sarkisian. Like, just getting liquored up during the games, and he has actually been fired because of this. This isn't something I'm making up. Gets liquored up during the games, and just does it. So he's like the Jim Leahy of football. But hey, this kid was the number one recruit out of high school, went to Ohio State, didn't play. So you tell me what number one recruit means, I guess. And then he's transferring to Texas, so we'll see how that goes. More than likely our last season in the Big 12 before us and those pieces of shit from Norman, Oklahoma go to the SEC. So this is kind of like the Big 12's kind of dying year. Like they
definitely gonna die when they join the SEC.
You and all that stuff, but you ain't gonna be shit without Texas. Real stuff. If you break down the revenue chart, it was Texas pretty much funding it because it's one of those Robin Hood things. They would take from the rich athletic departments and kind of share the wealth, and Texas makes bukus of money. Like, even though they ain't won shit, they make bukus of money. So
yeah, it's all about high school college football in Texas.
Oh, you're damn right it is.
Yeah.
I have seen some questionable things. You watch that 30 for 30 about the SMU where they gave Eric Dickerson a fucking gold Trans Am when he was in high school? Like, come on now.
Now, what's our second match for the day?
Well, hey, anybody else got any topics of the day?
I have a topic. For this week, for my Devyn's demographic of the week, I'm talking about this Nitro Pepsi. It's brewed with nitrogen instead of CO2. It's freaking awesome. Normal soda has the CO2 in it, which always causes me a bunch of hiccups. So I've literally for the past 24 years never really been able to drink soda. This one brewed with nitrogen, I love it. I have drank a bunch of them, and I've only known about it for about 2 weeks. So go get yourself a Nitro Pepsi.
Hell yeah.
Are we sponsored by them?
Shout out to
Never heard
Devyn
of it.
being the first member of the podcast to have his own fucking,
Thanks for the
contract.
sponsorship, guys.
I didn't know this, Devyn. Hey, good for Devyn. Good for Devyn.
Pretty soon I'll have a Nitro Pepsi tattoo on my shoulder, like CM
Oh,
Punk.
I see him, Punk. All right.
Man, I didn't
How about
expect
you
that
what are you
at
gonna get?
all.
White bubbles on top of white skin? Come on.
I'll get the smooth, creamy, and ready to drink.
Yeah, tattoo that on yourself.
Devyn's topic is a commercial.
I didn't know you were sponsored, man. Hey,
You own the company?
Here at the Kickout Crew, we're already making waves. Devyn is sponsored by Pepsi all of a sudden.
Have any of you guys tried this? Honestly,
No,
I've never
but
heard
we're
of it.
now.
Never
We all
heard
should
of
have
it.
one.
Hey,
I'll try it when I get my first check.
I'm a Mountain Dew Code Red. Like Code Red is the best thing Pepsi puts out. That's the best thing Pepsi puts out. But hey, I will try your product.
Cold
Devyn.
Red Mountain Dew. It's like watching Zombieland. Cold Red Mountain Dew.
It's-
I can drink Code Red over ice. In a bottle, I'll get hiccups for an hour
tastes
trying
like-
to sip it
tastes
down.
like juice. Like it's so. Oh man, I'd kill those 12-ounce cans like it's nothing. That being said, thanks for the Pepsi minute there, Devyn.
Oh, no problem.
Man, we got our first sponsor. Hey,
I
shout
want to know. I want to know what shrooms you were on when you came up with that segment.
I've never done shrooms.
He just
Where
looked
did that
around the
come
room and
from?
was like, "Fuck, I gotta say something." Pepsi. Hey, check out.
No.
He just grabbed the first thing that was there.
Oh, next we have my Ron Simmons picture.
Right?
Don't forget about
Boy,
D-Rock.
I sure am thirsty. Thank God I got a natural light to quench my thirst. Natural light, when people say, "Hey, do you want a different type of beer?" Bud Light, Budweiser, Coors Light. No. I would just like to stay with what's natural. Natural light.
Oh man. No,
Oh.
that's
We've already commercialized episode
Oh,
2.
man.
Done.
Start to GoFundMe for a liver transplant for James Okerai. Traded with Natty Light.
so I had a topic too, but I'm gonna save
You
it for
gotta-
next week. Just have a real quick hitter if that's okay. Quick hitter
That works.
topic.
Hey, I'm all about a quick hitter.
All right.
Yeah.
So did everybody watch SmackDown? I guess it would probably be a couple weeks ago now. And Sasha Banks' hair is now that blue and that green.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
so you know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of Fun Dip. And that's the Fun Dip that the one that the raspberry turns into the red apple or the sour apple, or the sour apple turns into the raspberry. I don't know which way it goes, but it goes one way or another. And it looked delicious. So
Love it.
a quick story. There were two things my father hated as a kid. He hated professional wrestling and he hated Fun Dip. So the TV came on and there was wrestling. And I was like 6. And he goes, "Turn that shit off. It's fake." So immediately, he as now a 46-year-old man, I am now doing a podcast about wrestling. So great job, Dad. Now, there are times when I go to the local Wawa, which is a convenience store out this way. All right. And I will go there just for Fun Dip. So, Dad, 0 for 2, pal. 0 for 2.
Yeah.
And I hope
stick
you're
it.
listening, bud. And I have played Nintendo too. You wouldn't let me have that either.
Papa Stanton, you seem like
But I
a
love
real
you, Dad.
prick.
I love you. You're a good.
I like
All
these
right.
first 2 episodes. We've learned a lot about Brad and about the inner workings of that swindling brain of his.
What brings us Brad of today?
But he sells stuff to people, but he's kind of like selling us to him. So hey, it's a good job.
Yep. But hey, Brad, I used to get the same damn shit from my dad. He said, "Look at that motherfucker right there. He'll get hit upside the head with a chair and then he's going to run a marathon." So I used to get it all the time
remember
too.
hearing, I quit watching wrestling because how's a guy going to get punched in the face 10 times in the corner and not have a black eye? And I'm
He's
like,
gonna have his head caved in.
yeah,
son.
exactly. Like, gotcha. Like, they got you.
See, my dad kind
Oh.
of said the opposite of Mike. He was like, he's gonna get hit in the head with a chair, but he's never running a marathon. So
Imagine
Does
telling your
anyone
parents
else
that
have
you're
a
gonna go
topic?
train to be one.
Yeah, right. That would have gone
Yeah.
over. But this
That-
isn't
that
gonna
was
go
a-
over
that was a
either. This
great-
isn't gonna
yeah.
go over either.
That was a fun conversation. You're doing what with your money? Hey, I'm driving and doing it. So that was fun.
Good shit. Great shit.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, it appears that we are on to our second match of the night, which by all means is a good one. We chose Kofi versus Daniel, or Bryan Danielson, or Daniel Bryan, however you want to word it. But we chose that match as our second match to cover today. I mean, it was a great, crowd-pleasing moment. It was definitely a great build. Everything, the stars aligned. It was in the last WrestleMania, as of right now, that was only one night, which I found very interesting. But it was WrestleMania 35. It takes place on April 7th, 2019. It was at MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey. Fuck the Giants. Just want to get that out of the way. The attendance was 82,265, which is actually, if you think about it, the Cowboys Stadium, AT&T Stadium, where they just held WrestleMania for 2 nights, has a capacity more than that, but they didn't break that either night. So that's kind of, they say this last WrestleMania was the most attended. That's what they mean, because this one, 82,000 for one night. Very good number. The match length was 23 minutes and 44 seconds. And of course, for all you fuck asses out there, David Meltzer gave it 4.5 stars. Now, this is actually a really good match, really good build-up. I'm going to defer to Brad to kind of set the tone for this match, because I mean, it really is, it goes a long way, and a lot of things come full circle with this build-up. So, Brad, take it away.
So I don't think this match doesn't start at WrestleMania 35. It actually, to me, starts before WrestleMania 30. And the reason I say that is because of Daniel Bryan. And I'm going to call him Daniel Bryan because that was his name then. Okay, so we're going to go with Daniel Bryan for now. So as everybody knows that's probably listening to this podcast, if you don't, I appreciate you listening and learning. Daniel Bryan was not Vince's idea as a champion. He's not what he thinks of as a champion. Everybody knows that. He is 5 foot. They say 5'11" or not. He's 5'9". He's 175 pounds to the moon on his best day, soaking wet. And it wasn't exactly his idea, but however, the fans wanted it. The fans were behind him. He is one of the best technical wrestlers that has ever been, and he can be a good guy. He can be a bad guy, face, heel, whatever you want to call it. And he was willed by the fans into that main event. He wasn't even in the main event the day of WrestleMania. He had to beat Triple H to get into that main event at WrestleMania. And it was one of the greatest moments to me in WrestleMania history, him winning that moment. And that is because of the fans. The fans wanted him there. Now, 5 years later, we have a very similar story building up. Kofi Kingston, 11 years in the making, gets put into, what the heck's the name of that match, guys? What's the name of the match?
Elimination Chamber.
Before you deep dive into this, I just want to know, I just want to say the WrestleMania 30 was when I got back into wrestling. Somebody had a coworker had a WrestleMania party, and I was like, hell yeah, I'll check it out. It was number 30. Figured it'd be a bunch of nostalgia and all this stuff. And I had seen the Daniel Bryan stuff because I watched ESPN like all the time back in the day, and you would see it at basketball games where they'd be doing the yes chant.
Yeah, Michigan State.
Like, just randomly doing yes chants at basketball games and like shit like that. So it was picking up steam. Like, this ain't a bullshit thing about like the fans pushed Daniel Bryan up there. And like you said, it was not their thing to do. And WrestleMania 30, well, it brought me back in. I saw Daniel Bryan hold up the belts, in New Orleans. Like, it's a pretty emotional moment when he wins. So
he was Johnny. He was as big as anybody at that moment to me.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're at the Elimination Chamber, and Kofi is a substitute for Mustafa Ali. to be in the match, I believe, for a number one contendership for the championship. He wasn't even supposed to be in the match. And he didn't win the match, by the way. But there was a moment in the match where he is screaming at AJ Styles, 11 damn years, 11 damn years. And I don't know what happened, but it triggered something with the fans. It triggered something with the fans at that moment that the WWE couldn't deny what was happening. And Kofi Mania was born. So then it was a buildup, just like Daniel Bryan's buildup. That every week it was everything that WWE was pretending that they didn't want to push him, but at the same time they were pushing him. They were pushing him into the main event, but taking it away at the same time. He was in a gauntlet match where he won all the matches, and then they throw who else? Daniel Bryan in at the end of it.
Exactly. And then he had to beat his lackey Rowan, before that, and then like, oh, you defeated all that, Kofi, but blah blah, and then they bring in fucking Daniel, like he was at his last wits, kind
So he
of
loses.
reminiscent of things.
He's not in the match. He's not going to be in the championship again at WrestleMania. They have denied him again. And so then the New Day has to do it for him. And the New Day has a gauntlet match. And they do win. And then he does get put into the main event.
Hey man, you're underselling that New Day gauntlet match because it was a tag team.
Right.
What are you making love to a bagel there, Rosie?
So
No, I'm just saying that was a great match.
was.
That whole
So they
gauntlet
went
thing.
through everything, and it's pretty fucking emotional because if you understand, like they've been put down every week, boom, 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 and Vince is cutting promos like, if y'all want your boy in there, pretty much like y'all gotta win shit. So it kind of went on the whole team to get Kofi in there, not like Kofi earned his spot, but hey, y'all gotta earn the spot too. Like it put all of the importance on all of them to master this. And that tag team gauntlet match, Big E flips the table on top of Rowan, climbs in the ring, and he's under that table for God knows how long, and it's not even technically on him if you go back and watch that video. But boy, when you get to like 8, 9, 10, and they win by count out, which means Kofi goes to WrestleMania, that crowd explodes. Like it's fucking, it's celebration time, baby. We're popping bottles,
Yeah, I like that because the crowd went wild and they had the people backstage. I like the backstage segments.
I was going to mention that too. If you notice the Kofi Mania build, the roster was watching on the monitors, all of his matches for a week.
They were going for him.
That's a really cool addition to it.
And then, to me, finally, though, what was so important to the build of this match is that it is Daniel Bryan that he's facing. Daniel Bryan for 5 years ago that was willed in by the fans. Now Kofi's being willed on the fans. Now it's completely flipped. Daniel Bryan is the heel. Daniel Bryan is getting booed. Daniel Bryan is calling Kofi Kingston a B+ player when Daniel Bryan was called a B+ player. I don't say this much, but when WWE gets it right, they get it right. And they got this right because of all people to take, well, we know how the match goes, but for all people to be in that match with him, I just don't think it could have been any more perfect than that.
And Daniel Bryan threw the belt away. Remember that part. He threw the belt away.
Yes.
Got that eco-friendly bullshit, brown.
That stupid ass made out of wood.
Yeah.
But that's merchandise. They probably made a ton of money off that belt.
But they threw the other belt away, and that definitely struck a tone with certain fans. Like, oh fuck you, Brad. Yeah, y'all eat horse shit. I get this.
Who the hell cares? Who cares? It's a show, right? It's just a show.
Well, David.
Anyway, that's my build. So take it away. Take it away. Let's talk about the match.
Anybody have anything else on the build? Because the build was pretty monumental. Like, that's pretty much.
No, my biggest thing was, like I said, with not just the fans, but the wrestlers backstage being involved in it. Like, that was something big. Like, you don't see that
ever
all the time. We don't ever see it. It's never happened before.
Daniel Bryan's build, you never seen it to anybody's like climb for the title. Like they would cut backstage and people are watching at the monitor, like, yeah, let's go.
But you have to remember what started this though. It's all because Mustafa Ali got hurt. If he never got hurt, who knows what would have happened.
And remember that he was supposed to win, so none of this happened. That he was supposed to be Kofi that year,
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I mean, but the way they seen the fans reacting, and they let the wrestlers backstage react the same way, that meant like that showed a lot of it. Like, I mean, that's what I liked.
You never see that.
No, you don't. You don't see wrestlers backstage cheering on somebody else. And, they're wanting that spot. Why the hell are they going to cheer for him when they want that spot?
Exactly.
But they're because he deserved it. Kobe
Yeah, he
deserved
earned
that
He
spot.
deserved it, but Brian wanted it for him too, and Brian made it happen.
Yes.
He put him over like a champ, and
I was invested heavily in that story. I think the Kofi Mania build, probably one of the best ones they've done in the least, last 4 years.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it is
Yeah.
the best, but boy, they hit it out of the park with that one because every week it was like, it seemed like you would predict like, okay, they're gonna bury him and wait till Mania, but you kind of felt it when Vince is like, no, like you're a B+ player, get the fuck out of here. Like, no, oh, y'all are just an act. Like, y'all are an act. Like, get the hell out of here. The only way you're going in the Hall of Fame, Kofi, it was with these.
yes, the Hall of Fame.
Going in there as a single. Like, I mean, they just buried this dude.
You only go in as the New Day. That's what he said. That was
it
so
was a good build up of like, hey, we shouldn't be here, but guess what? We are here. Beat us. It's the same thing with this guy. It's the same thing with Daniel. It's the same thing with Kofi. Like, hey, we're here. The crowd loves me. Like, fucking bring it.
Can't deny me. You just can't deny me.
It's awesome. God, I love that shit, man.
I do too, man. That's what makes me a fan. This is the kind of shit that makes me a fan.
For real. When wrestling's at its best like this, when you believe, like, that's my dude. Like, fuck all them. He ain't supposed to be here, but fuck them. He's going to make it. That's wrestling, dude. That's a wrestling 100%.
Have they ever swerved it where they had a big buildup for somebody and they made him lose?
Booker T.
Absolutely.
Booker T with Triple H. Yeah.
Mhm.
You can go ahead and look up that one. I'm not going to get into that one. We may cover it. We may cover it on a future episode of Kickout Crew.
Well, you look at small builds like Rusev. Rusev Day was over. Like, it was crazy, but they didn't want it. They didn't want to do it. There's things they could do, and they decide not to. I'm glad they just didn't do that with Kofi.
Right? They don't want it because they didn't create it.
Yeah,
the fans created it. It's not
that's
something
the
they
best
created.
thing. They're
It's
crazy
weird about like, hey, the people that pay your tickets and the people that chime in your product, the people that do all this, and since we want something so bad, Vince is like, fuck them.
Exactly.
Vince is like, well, they don't know what they want. Like, motherfucker, if we're paying our money and screaming Kofi's name, I think we know what we want.
Yes.
I think that's something.
There would have been a revolt if he didn't win.
It would have been bad. And even going into this match, I still didn't even know if they were going to do it. Because I really didn't think they were going to put the wagon on
close.
Kofi. I didn't
a couple
believe
close moments.
Yeah. I wrote down that it was a great match. It starts off a little fast paced with some back and forth between both men. And then Kofi makes that one little mistake and Daniel Bryan just takes the match over. And Daniel Bryan is such a mechanic in the ring. I mean, he can win a match with anything he wants. I mean, he slows the pace down, and it's a classic wrestling match. He slows it down, does a couple of heel moves, and then Kofi gets that little hook spot. He's like, oh, here we go, Kofi. Boom. Daniel Bryan cuts it down and works on it a little bit more. And then Kofi gets built up. Boom. Daniel Bryan cuts him off again.
What do you think about they showed the belt or they showed something under a blanket on the table outside of the ring? Because when Bryan comes down, he puts his belt on that table, but they kind of cut to the camera before it, and you could tell there's a belt under the carpet thing.
I didn't notice that though. I don't look for those things.
Didn't notice it either.
It was blatant as fuck.
I don't look for that. I don't want to know, James. Just because you want to know.
That's what I'm saying. Why put it on TV? Hell, I don't want to know either. But I was like,
I didn't even notice.
But I was thinking in my head because I think commentary said it was a frame to set Daniel's fucking wooden yarn bullshit belt on it.
Yarn. No, it was just a classic match, though.
Shit, man.
Yeah, it was a classic match. I mean, when we're trained in the ring, it's the heel leads the match. You let the baby face, good guy, you let him get a little build up and then cut him off. Get the crowd back into it, cut him off.
Yep.
And Daniel Bryan is one of the best at doing that, man. And it's just, I stayed invested the whole match. I mean, just come on, Kofi, here we go. Oh, here we go, Kofi, oh. And Daniel Bryan is so good at doing that.
That's wrestling. And he took pride in himself to be like, I'm about to make this motherfucker tonight. He knew hey, because he's not going to give a poor title change, Because if it's a poor title change, then that means he's nothing, you know. So he's gonna put his name out there, and he he did a great job, like like Adam said, doing all the stuff he needed to do and making it a great match. Like, you're only as good as the guy you beat, and we've heard that a million times. But Daniel Bryan went out there and was like, "Hey, I ain't fucking this up." Like, for me and for you, he had two bodies to take care of that night. He had to take care of himself, make himself a respectable opponent, but he also had to make sure he made that dude. So that's and Daniel Bryan can do that. We've seen it a million times.
The false finishes were good. I mean, the 2 7/8 counts. I mean, it was just an all around great match. For me, it was just a great match.
Yeah,
see, I thought it was a good match. It wasn't great. It wasn't what I expected out of the two. They did really, really, really good. But between the two of them, I think they could have brought out a better match in the whole situation.
Woo!
Just in like different ways.
Brad.
Like
What
this,
do you think, Brad?
I
mean,
opinion's opinion. It's fine, but there was just so many good things to this match for me.
no, there was a lot of good things. The storytelling, everything else. I mean, all that was good, but it was just a match to me. I mean,
Mike is saying that because of the finish. I think the finish, the way you build this match and the way you need that, like 1, 2, like you need the crowd 100%. It kind of just ended.
That could be it. It could have been like, I mean, because once he hit that Trouble in Paradise and it was over, we knew it was over.
But it came out of nowhere. There really wasn't.
It did come out of nowhere. It did come out of nowhere.
But I like it was a clean finish. It was a clean 1, 2, 3. No hijinks. No tights pulled. No nothing. It was a clean 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. That was the good part of the finish.
Daniel Bryan just getting up, like, because he knocked him down, and Kofi's here like, why, like wilding out, and then Daniel Bryan stands up, and then he hits him 1, 2, 3. I think they could have done like maybe 1 or 2 moves, and then boom, he catches it with the Trouble in Paradise, and then like get up, and then like hit him.
And like the aftermatch, I like that. I dug all that.
We're not done with the match yet, because I have a heavy thing about the aftermatch.
I have something as well, real quick, but I'll be done after this. But I have to say it. When Kofi's getting the elbows on Daniel Bryan up on the ropes or up on the turnbuckle, and the crowd's going, yes, yes, yes. That is Daniel Bryan's thing. But they're not saying it because of that. They're saying it because the yes chant is over, even though Daniel Bryan isn't anymore. And then you have Daniel Bryan doing the slow, no.
Yep.
No. Yes, that was good.
No.
Yeah.
And the crowd is booing like crazy. He is a genius.
It's awesome.
Genius.
He's great. I mean, like I said, it was good. I mean, I did like it. I just think it could have been better.
Well, and stomping Kofi down, and then when Kofi kind of gets Daniel's arms, and the crowd's like, "Oh,"
Yeah.
So do you think maybe if Kofi would have had more offense, it would have been a better match?
Yeah, probably. If he had more offense.
I can see that.
I mean, it kind of seems like Daniel Bryan had the match set from the beginning. I mean, he just whooped his ass all over.
From underneath. He's battling from underneath the whole match.
Yeah.
But I want to point out a couple of the big moves that were in this match. Kofi did this reverse suplex to Daniel Bryan. They literally just picked him up backwards and suplexed him so his Daniel Bryan's front hit the ground. I thought that was a tremendous move.
That was good.
That's really a hard move to do too, because everything's backwards. You're trained to do a regular suplex, and when you're backwards trying to do it, it's so hard to do it reverse. I'll give them credit on that.
Dead weight, like it's easy to do when you can just like if your head forward, you can do it, easier. Yeah. But if you're back to it, like that's dead weight because you got to lift the dude.
When you do a regular front suplex, you can post on the guy's leg or his knee. When it's backwards like that, there's no way to post. You can't help the guy. That was all Kofi, and I'll give him credit for that.
Yeah, that was tremendous, I thought.
Yes.
There was a dive from the turnbuckle on the outside. Kofi dove trying to hit Daniel Bryan and hit his stomach right off the corner of the announce table. I thought that looked honestly painful.
And he sold the ribs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he did sell that real good.
Love that.
Then the last big move that I had
goes red.
Oh, sorry, James.
No, go ahead. It's your show. That was no, I didn't mean that derogatory. I was just saying.
The kick out crew with Devyn.
Right? I'm gonna kick it on out to Devyn. That's what I mean. You motherfuckers
Kick
take
out-
that negatively.
With Devyn Dowling and friends.
I was completely innocent on that, man.
Oh no, just the last thing that I really liked in this match was close to the end. Kofi got the SOS on Daniel Bryan, and Bryan immediately reversed it into the label lock. Like it was all like in one fluent motion. I really liked that. That was smooth.
It just shows how good Daniel Bryan is at his submission game. I mean, it's
I do like when Kofi seemed to get some offense. Boom! It was just countered right back into like, oh God, he's gonna get him. You know, like it kept teeter tottering. You know, across that line.
Yeah, it was
all them
close.
fickle fans. They're all fickle.
There's so much too that goes back to that original Daniel Bryan match at WrestleMania 30. When they start yelling, the announcer, I can't remember which announcer it is. It pisses me off. But come on, Kofi. Come on, Kofi. Michael Cole. Come on, Bryan. Come on, Bryan. They really did more than people realize.
A miracle on Bourbon Street? Like that's the call, and then Orton taps, or not Orton, Batista taps.
I love that part. So
yeah,
anyway, I love this match a lot.
Hey, as a fan, it brought me back in, dude. WrestleMania 30 pretty much reeled me back in. And then to see like this type of thing, it was really awesome because I've been a fan of New Day, you know. The pancake throwing, you know, assholes, and oh, Kofi can't be a champion because he's skinny and he throws pancake. Like, you know, you hear all that shit all the time. But boy, I mean, you can't deny like the crowd getting into it. And that elimination chamber is really what set it off, you know. That's the thing and that gauntlet match, you know.
Oh yeah, I forgot he had that. Yeah, that gauntlet match. Yeah.
Like the build to this was amazing. It really makes you like, that's my dude. You know, like it sells you on Kofi.
All right, so if you're Kofi, do you send Ali?
In a while.
Do you send Ali like a gift basket saying, "Hey, thanks for getting hurt. That gave me my spot." Do you do that?
For real. He had
the first time, won't be the last.
Well, and look at Ali when he came back. You know, he was like he was nothing. Then they put him away. Then he was that retribution shit. And now he's gone again. Like
yeah, man, and I hate that for Ali because he's such a good wrestler. Too.
I love he put the hand out there like
Yeah. Well, he had that little Chris Jericho type gimmick type shit.
He was going places.
Yeah. He could have been something.
Talented. There's no doubt.
Oh, will say there was one part I guess I have in my notes. Corey Graves, when Kofi got blasted with something, Kofi Mania got canceled.
I don't care what you say about Corey Graves. I love
Corey Graves.
I'm sad his wrestling career got cut short, but man, he's a good announcer.
Yeah, he might be back.
That's true.
Yeah, he will be back.
But yeah, if
He deserves another run.
if anybody wants to cover the finish, you know, like who's gonna?
Brad, it's your match.
Abrupt. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, I mean, the finish is it was a little abrupt. It was a little abrupt. If you look in the background, I mean, you can see Daniel and
Rowan,
Big Redbeard walking off. He's still.
I didn't get that part.
He might have said take it home because this was about a 6-hour pay-per-view.
That's true.
Yeah, it could have because it was just a match that just finished. I mean, it just
and
stopped.
most of the time when matches just abruptly end, it is one of the two be like, "Hey, we got to go home." You know,
it's either that or they were really putting over the underdog story as far as Kofi being an underdog. The way he can win is only because of out of nowhere do one move and win.
Like a fluke move type deal.
Yeah, unless they were going with that angle, which I don't know if they were, but that could be an option.
But then they tackle him in the ring. And it's a true moment.
My favorite part of this match, which the match is awesome, but my legit favorite part, and I tell people who aren't wrestling fans, like, oh, it's fake. Look at Xavier Woods. When Kofi wins, look at Xavier Woods rush into the ring, hug him, and bawl. Yeah. Like Xavier Woods is fucking bawling.
They were waiting for it the whole match.
Fake and he knew the outcome. Why is he crying? Like
they couldn't wait to get in there.
And then brought the boys in there too. Brought his kids in there. That was amazing.
You know, like
people in the back.
Xavier Woods automatically goes to Kofi and balls. Like that's real. That's real to them. You know, that's real shit.
It was
Yeah,
real.
because that right there, I mean, that title means something to them. I mean, for them to be
all, you know, like
everybody,
They
for
could-
you,
yeah, they
I'm
wanted-
top of your class. Like that, I made it. Like I made it.
oh,
I'm
these
WWE champion.
pancake throwing fucks. You know, like you actually got to take
Yeah.
it seriously because one of them's a
I
fuck.
agree.
It actually shows the respect that they have for Kofi. Also, how much respect they have for him. The guys in the back and everything.
Uh-oh.
That's true because the whole roster was watching it, which
Yeah.
is also another thing. You know, they never do that. I mean, we all know how it ended. We're not talking about how it ended, but like the Kofi build and the Kofi like win,
Yeah.
really fucking special. Like I said, look at Xavier Rhodes' face. He knew if he knew, obviously, or maybe didn't know, or whatever. And even if it was a spoiler, he knew the outcome could be that. Like he knew the odds. But to have him straight up break down when that dude wins the title, like you can never tell me wrestling's fake. That ain't fake.
No.
That's emotion. Like that's real fucking shit. You will never tell me wrestling's fake.
And they wanted it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Bad. Fucking bad. And they got it. And we got it. And thank God for that.
And that was right. You know, that's the WrestleMania before the pandemic. That's it was the last, like you said, one night show. It was 6 hours long. That was the night of the main event with the 3 women. That's for another day.
Which was a botched finish, but you know,
At midnight.
at least we got one good title change.
At midnight.
At least midnight, right? Maybe later. Oof.
Mhm.
But it was
How long
still,
did-
I had a lot of fun watching that show. And I love that match.
How long did Kofi get to keep it before Brock beat him in like 15 seconds?
6 months.
Give or
6
take.
months, yeah, 6, 7
4
months.
and a half months.
Yeah.
Because
It
if
was
you
the
think
first
WrestleMania
SmackDown.
is like April-ish, and he lost it in October. So
Yeah.
probably 6.
Yeah, it was 6 months and it was 8 seconds and it was a shame. And they did him
Yeah.
dirty. And I don't know why they did that. They could have had a match. They
Fox.
could have had a match. Why did they have to embarrass him?
Fuck.
And then the next night, he's jumping up and down like nothing freaking happened. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Thanks,
I still get
Fox.
pissed off about that, but that's again for another day.
Yeah.
For
Hey, we can
another
cover that
day.
on a future episode. 8-second match. You know,
That
a
sounds
run
like me
up
on a
F5,
Saturday night, am I
1, 2,
right?
3. You know, we can cover that one. That episode will be 20 fucking seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, what'd you guys think about this? Well, Kofi had a good running start. You know, took about 7 steps.
Yeah, it's a virgin on
Yeah.
prom night.
The biggest build,
Yeah,
the
stop.
biggest storyline of all time, or you know, of recent time, the biggest build, the greatest story ever told in WrestleMania in multiple years got fucking neutered. You know,
In 8 seconds, yeah.
that's terrible. You had the whole nation in thrusted in this, but hey, well, it's some Fox executive going. Well, we don't know who the fuck that dude is. He throws pancakes.
Yeah. Who's this
You know who
170
Brock
pound
Lesnar
guy?
is? He's UFC. Go with Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, exactly. Who's this 175 pound guy carrying this belt?
Exactly. Look
The
at
belt weighs
his
more than
caved-in
he
chest.
does.
Look at his caved-in chest. That looks weird. Go with Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
for another day. Another day though, guys. Today was a happy day that ended with Kofi Kingston.
It was a great.
We don't
winning
know
the
about the
World
next guy.
Championship.
one of the biggest victories I've seen. Like it was really a culmination of, like Brad said, the fact that it was Daniel Bryan. You know, Daniel Bryan was the people's like champ. You know, everybody ushered him up to the main event, and then now, you know, we got the Kofi like. And what are the odds that Daniel Bryan happens to be champion when Kofi's making that climb? You know, like
Couldn't
that's
have been
poetic
more
justice.
perfect.
Dude. You can't script that
Could have
shit.
been more perfect.
Passing the torch almost.
It was so perfect. It
Yeah.
made it perfect.
Yep. And the best thing out of all, we got rid of that stupid ass title that Daniel Bryan was carrying.
that was great.
Yeah.
That was
Hey,
heat, brother.
We can't throw that in the trash because we have to make sure it goes in the recycle bin.
We have to recycle it.
Yeah.
We can't throw it away.
Non-recyclables. You know,
Oh,
that's
damn, I hated
great.
that title so much.
go green. It was a travesty. It was
Conrad owns that one.
I'm sure he does.
go green. So now
Yep.
we're I think we're on to Mike's.
I wanna-
meat minute.
yeah, let's find out what's cooking with Mike's Meat Minute.
I'm freaking
Mike's
starving.
Meat Minute. Oh, hope you guys are hungry for this one. If you guys like seafood.
I've
I'm
been
gonna do
a couple fish in my day.
There you go. Mardi Gras Shrimp is what I'm gonna do today. What you need for this one, you need 2 pounds of peeled shrimp, 2 tablespoons of Cajun season, a teaspoon of crab oil, 1 cup of Killer Hogs barbecue, which Killer Hogs is amazing. 1 to 2 teaspoons of Killer Hogs hot sauce, depending on how you like it. Or they also have that Obey hot sauce. That's also pretty very good.
Shout out.
Yep, Obey hot sauce. Just tried it, this past week. Pretty good itself. Stick of butter, about a half an onion diced, maybe a half a red pepper diced, yellow pepper diced. Do 4 clovers or garlic clovers. You're gonna dice those up, and a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, and then add you a little bit of
what was that?
What kind of sauce?
Worcestershire.
One
Worcestershire.
more again.
Worcestershire.
I don't know what that is. Can you please can you spell it for me?
I got you. On to next thing on the menu is lemon juice. You need
I know what that is.
Right.
Yeah, I know what that is. Shut up on my Worcestershire. Go ahead and heat your Go ahead and heat your grill up to about 350. Put some butter and like an iron skillet, something like that. You can do this on the stove too. It works on the stove. Saute your peppers, onions, do all that good stuff. Make sure they're nice and soft. Add in your garlic. Let them sit for about 2 to 3 minutes. Add in your barbecue sauce and your Worcestershire sauce.
What's that? JRS BBQ.
Worcestershire.
BBQ.
Same thing. We all know what I'm
What
talking
barbecue sauce, Mike? You doing Head Country? Sweet Baby Ray's, like KC?
No, it's the Kettle Hogs barbecue. It goes with the meat. It goes with goes with it. But you can throw in JR's barbecue.
JR's
It
gonna
works.
hate us, bro. JR gonna hate us.
Hey, I got a couple recipes for JR.
Already
so,
hates me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got a
he
couple
does.
recipes for JR.
Doesn't take
But
long.
go ahead and go ahead and get your peppers, onions, all that nice and good, ready. Throw your garlic in there. Add your barbecue sauce and your Worcestershire sauce. Throw a little bit of lemon juice, Cajun seasoning, crab oil in there. Bring all that stuff to the simmer. Let it simmer for about 25 minutes. Add your shrimp. Throw that in there. Cook it till the shrimp's done, but take about 5 to 10 minutes.
Is a shrimp raw or pre-cooked?
It's raw, but it's peeled.
Gotcha.
The peeled shrimp.
Devin wanted me to ask because he's enthralled in this.
And you know what? Details, brother.
Yes, if it's
Devin,
raw,
because he's
do what you gotta do. If you get the one that's pre-cooked, you ain't got to cook it as long. You get the raw stuff that's already peeled.
Always go raw, and
Always go raw.
ladies, always go raw.
Yep.
Oh,
Go ahead and cook that up for about 5-10 minutes. Get it nice and good. Get yourself a little bit of French bread. Dip that French bread in that sauce.
Right.
And eat away. Very good little meal.
I like it, man. I like it. Sounds amazing.
That
Yeah.
sounds pretty good.
And I'll hear from one of y'all next week when one of y'all try it.
That's true.
well, I had the meatloaf. I had the last week's today, and it was excellent.
That's
Thank
true.
you.
Hey, great ass meatloaf, especially wrap it in the bacon. That was I know that's how you keep the juices in, and me liking the juices in. But it was a great way to set that up last week. So I can't wait to see how this week's tastes, especially that
Right.
Mardi Gras shrimp. Me, Bourbon Street party. Like, let's go
There you go. It's party. Have you a couple beers while you're doing it, and you're good to go.
all day, every day. Devin, you got something? You look eager.
Well, no, this is a fun episode. I don't really know. I don't have anything rehearsed to share. Was I supposed to have a second thing? I'm sorry.
No.
Devin's ready to get back to his fiance.
Yeah, fiance.
Yeah, I know. She's probably like, get
No,
the hell off of the camera.
I ain't seen her in 45 minutes. I miss
For
her. I
real.
want to go see her.
Get the fuck
No,
up
she was
there.
working all night, and then you're just talking about Mike's meat minute, and I haven't had dinner yet, so it's getting me
Oh,
hungry.
got you hungry.
Well,
There
just
you go.
quick shout to our friends, Top Guy Theater, Ringside Rant,
Filter-free
Filter
podcast.
Free Podcast. Am I missing anybody else?
Ad-free shows, baby.
And free
That's
shows.
true, man.
Free
Free
shows.
shows.
.com.
Boy,
And
That's why
James,
we're all
tell
here,
us
guys. That's why we're all here.
where can they find us, James?
They can find us at Kickout Crew. That is the @ sign, Kickout Crew. It's easy to spell, and that's what we do. Because when life pins you down, you kick out at 2.
You got to kick out, baby.
We got at Brad. I don't know your Twitter handle.
At Yes Man Brad.
That
Yes.
Man Brad.
Yes.
Yep. And
You know,
I'm
I'm a
Mike
fan.
at Whitaker1028 on Twitter.
I'm at Devyn D19 at Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, wherever you want me.
I'm at Adam_from_Bama. Easy enough.
And from
And I
there.
think real Coach Rosey. I think Rosie's at real Coach Rosey. You know, you can find us
You are.
too. And we have a Facebook page. It is at the Kickout Crew. You can find us if you have any suggestions or comments or anything you would like to see on the show. We are always open to that. You know, at Kickout Crew on Twitter, like we said, or you can hit us up at kickoutcrewpod@gmail.com. You know, we are definitely down for suggestions. We are pretty much basically launched right now, and we're going full steam. So if you have something you want to see, or if you have something you want to blurt out of your ass and that we're going to ignore, please, hit us up. You know, nothing's guaranteed, but,
Except for Ed.
yeah, right. If you're going to bring the hate, we're more than likely going to take it into consideration, laugh amongst ourselves, and then discard it. But if you have some suggestions or comments, always good to, hear feedback. I mean, everybody knows us,
Yeah, a match for us to watch, a question for us to
That's true. A good match.
bring to attention. I don't know, anything you want.
Something you want cooked by Minute Mike.
Right?
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
want something cooked by Mike and his Mike's Meat Minute, Minute Mike, Meat Mike Minute.
Mike's Meat Minute.
Yeah.
We'll get this. Give it to him. Mike's Meat Minute.
And if anybody needs a car, you know where to find me.
Yeah.
We'll go to Brad.
If you want to throw your money down the drain, Brad is always accepting,
God.
for cars. Better have a good
And you
credit.
need your opinion on buying a house. Hit up Coach Rosey.
Yeah, right. We got a bunch of swindlers on here. We got a bunch of swindlers. If you're
You
trying
want
to
Nitro Pepsi?
Here we go.
have your credit score and down payment ready for Brad. If you're trying to lose your ass on a house, have your down payment and credit score ready for Rosey.
We got it.
Hey, you're right, Brad. We
Yeah.
made people's dreams come true. We put them in the cars of their
Amen.
dreams and the homes of their
Amen.
dreams.
There you go.
Sometimes the price of something isn't as important as your happiness.
And then we'll give you a
You
Pepsi.
can't put a price on a smile. That's 100% correct.
Go.
Whether you get in touch with Brad on the car side or me or Amy on the mortgage side, you'll be taken care of 100% from the beginning of the process till the very end.
Yeah, we make a lot of jokes, but we are a good group of guys here. We reach out to us, let us know what you think. Okay.
100%. Devyn, closing thoughts.
This was a fun episode. It was a fun 2 matches to watch. Kofi Mania was running wild. I was all in the heat of wrestling at that time. And it was just fun. It's fun to always share my thoughts with you guys too. It's fun
Yeah.
topics to talk over, and I'm excited to get back to it next week.
It's
Stay
exciting
tuned, boys and girls.
because, boy, you would not believe this surprises we have in store next week. But hey, as long as we, enjoy this episode, might as well chime in, on the next episode. We're always ever growing, and we got a lot of things in store. Like Adam, what were you about to say?
All right. I didn't realize I was going to say anything other than thank you guys for having me.
Is that the Via con Dios?
Vayan con Dios, amigo.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Oh yeah. Well, hey,
Yep.
that's
Peace.
gonna wrap it up. That's gonna wrap it up for us here at the Kickout Crew. Because always remember, when life gets you down, kick out at 2, because that's what we do. We're the Kickout Crew. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever succumb to life's pressures. Just always throw that shoulder when you need to. So thank you all for joining us, and hey, Hope everybody has a great week after this. Enjoyed it.